All right, welcome back to the Krakpot podcast. I'm your host, Woz Count. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of new articles that have been coming up. I know it's been a while since we've actually made a podcast, but we're back. We're ready. We're back to bring you the content we have been promising. Let's go.
That was the worst introduction I've ever fucking heard in my life.
What do you mean? That was like a
you didn't even introduce us.
Good Morning
you didn't
America.
even introduce us. We're the two co-hosts. You didn't even bother to introduce us.
I wasn't ready. I was about to do that. Why do you think
Nah,
I was like,
you
what are we going to talk
completely
about
forgot.
today
You
with
completely
our
forgot.
beautiful
You
host?
completely
What
forgot.
kind of
Moocake.
episode do we have today? We already have two crackpots looking kind of heated because we're all tired, except for Woz. He has a glow to him today, and
Well,
I
Woz
think
Count's
we're upset
entitled.
about
That's
that.
why. You woke up like 20 minutes ago.
I'm fucking hot right now. I'll send you a screenshot. I'll send you a picture.
What
of
do you
me.
mean you're fucking
This morning.
hot?
I'll send you my
do you
dick
mean?
right
Dude,
now.
I look fucking hot right now.
I don't
dude.
care.
I'm not even like.
I don't
Yeah, you do.
care.
Come
No, I
on,
don't.
babe.
No, I don't.
Come on, babe.
I couldn't give a shred of a
Dude,
shit.
I got you.
This conversation is going to end with just like, oh, I don't care. And then he's going to be like, are you sure? And he's like, prove it. Okay, get over here.
The universe is vast and infinite and ever expanding. And in all the billions and billions of miles of space and light years of time within the universe, I cannot find a single fuck to give about how you look right now, Woz Count.
Look at me.
Yes, so? Who gives a shit?
I think you look cute.
Just... Right, can I just say, if
Fuck,
your-
it's so
How come
funny.
I don't get a selfie?
You want the selfie? Okay.
I want a selfie.
your bathroom looks...
It's a shower.
Like,
What?
well, whatever it is, it
is a shower.
looks like it hasn't been cleaned since the Middle Ages. Jesus Christ.
Dude, and you shouldn't be talking. I've seen your room.
My room's fine. At least it's not covered in fucking limescale. It's disgusting, Woz Count.
What the fuck is line scale?
Well, that's probably why your bathroom's so disgusting. You don't know what limescale is.
It's not even my bathroom.
Well, whoever's bathroom it is, get them to clean it. There's going to be another fucking pandemic coming out of that thing.
It was your mom's vagina.
Water.
I'll go tell your mom. Get fucking wrecked.
You're so funny.
I'm going to tell on your mom, dude.
Omega lol. Get wrecked. So what are we talking about today, boys? Dude, Joe Rogan. What's going on with that guy?
He's
Come
getting
on.
cancelled on Twitter at the moment, isn't he?
He might not even know, to be honest, because he believes in avidly you should not read comments and stuff, because usually it's just haters and like toxic stuff. So he doesn't really read stuff after he posts it. So I don't know. He may not even know unless if somebody says something to him.
You always have a bit of a hard-on for Joe Rogan, so perhaps you better explain the context for this one. You probably know it better than us.
Yeah, somebody clipped him talking about if someone was 21 years old and they ask him like, hey, do you think I should get vaccinated? He says, no, you shouldn't. Because if you're 20, you're young, you're healthy, what you need to do is take care of yourself, work out, get a good immune system, get some vitamin D, and you should be fine. But he's also not a doctor. He's just a comedian with a podcast. So people took him saying, no, you shouldn't get vaccinated, way to heart. And now they're trying to cancel him.
Well, I
on
mean, I
Twitter.
don't completely agree with what he said. I should probably put that on record first. But at the same time, I think what he's been said has been taken out of proportion. And again, I don't agree with what he said, but, you know, it's not as bad as people are making it out to be, from what I gather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because what he said technically isn't really that bad if you watch the clip yourself. But if you just hear about it, you're going to be outraged. Like, what? Joe Rogan is saying you shouldn't take the vaccine? He's telling people not to? What? So it's easy to get behind until you
It's
actually
not
like...
saying don't want to take the vaccine. He's just saying like it's not that big of a deal, which it is. Honestly, in my opinion, I think it's a good deal. I took all my vaccines.
You're a lucky bastard. I still haven't had my first jab yet.
Oh my god, everything I say is just not good with you.
I'm just saying you're lucky.
Phantom got it too. What the hell is
Well, yeah,
this?
I'm actually vaccinated as
You're
well.
both lucky then. I still haven't had my first jab yet. Where I live, it's very far behind.
It depends where you work. I only
Yeah.
got it because of my job.
Plus America.
But anyway, no. I think the direct quote from Joe Rogan was, if you're like in your 20s or something, you shouldn't get vaccinated. And this is what I mean, where I agree to an extent. People in their 20s should definitely be vaccinated, but they should be last of the list, which is why I don't particularly mind that I haven't been vaccinated yet. Other people need to get it first, people that are older or immunocompromised or all that sort of shit. And I'm not particularly at risk. I'm fortunate enough that I'm in a job that's not at risk. I'm not immunocompromised, I'm young, I'm reasonably healthy, so I'm not at risk at all. So I don't mind having to wait a few extra months to get my vaccine, because I'm not at risk myself. So I agree with him up to the extent that, people in their 20s should be prioritised lower. Unless, of course, they've got underlying conditions and shit like that. But they should eventually...
I think he does state that.
But that's what I mean. They should eventually get the vaccine, though, because the only way to completely control and eradicate a virus is for everyone to be immunized, no matter how protected and healthy you are already. So I agree with him to an extent, but, everyone should get it at some point. It's just, where do you come on the list of priority, essentially?
I agree with you to an extent. So you think that old people and, like, teenagers and kids should get it first?
Yeah,
or
of course they should.
Not teenagers.
Well,
and
I
kids.
don't know
people.
about children and old. Well, like, I think it'll be great if it was tested enough.
I think the order
Like,
should be.
I
think the order should be old people, people with immunocompromised stuff, and then children, and then you roll it out depending on jobs and stuff like that.
Well,
Why children?
I kind of agree with their reasons in doing it with adults and like old teens because they're wanting to like give it to the most like immune people first.
Yeah.
Well, hold on before I know it sounds bad. Hold on. But it's because this one's not like tested to its like fullest extent.
Yeah, but
so
like
someone with like a lower immune system might get worse to it.
I believe the odds of it going wrong are 0.0009% the last time.
But
I
it has
looked.
gone wrong with some people. Even with I think with Phantom 2, I was like dying for a while.
but that's
that sucked. That
Yeah, but-
second dose made me so sick.
that's a small price to pay in exchange for being completely
Yeah, but imagine
immunized
for
from
a kid. Imagine for a kid that doesn't have the strongest immune system as me and like Phantom. It's gonna be
That's
way
the
worse
problem,
for him.
though.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the virus, not the virus, the vaccine. If you have a strong immune system, like a kid, like even like a 10-year-old, they're gonna react very poorly because their immune system's way more active. So if you're older and you get the vaccine, you may not even get any side symptoms.
Yeah.
All the symptoms are coming for those who are younger because our immune systems are more reactive. So that's just why we get sicker when we get the vaccine. So I don't know if it makes sense to like prioritize children because even if they do get the coronavirus, it's been showed with studies like it really isn't shit.
Well,
compared
sure.
to like if you're 50 and you
Well,
get
sure.
it.
But here's why I would argue you prioritize children, right? Because children, one of the main things globally has been to try and get children back to school as quickly as possible, which is something I agree with. Now, if you send a load of unvaccinated children back to school, sure, they'll probably be able to shrug it off, but the teachers, less so. That's why I argue they should be bumped up the list. Because
Teachers are getting vaccinated.
well, that's good. They should be as well. But that's what I mean. So should the children they're around.
Yeah, that's easier said than done though, because there's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out
lot.
as well this whole fucking argument of oh my god, some people are being fucked by the vaccine. Of course, some people are, and that's terrible. But this is the same group of people that were saying a few months ago, oh, herd immunity. The exact same people. Like, come on, pick a fucking side here.
Well, I wouldn't say
Well,
the same
people's
people. There's
minds
different
change.
people. Yeah, there's different people, and then people's minds change. I'm not saying
Yeah.
everyone.
You go through
that
different
got the-
experiences.
Yeah, sure, but
thing.
the same people that were outraged by the pub closing and demanding that people have herd immunity are now saying, oh, the vaccine's dangerous, guys. When in reality, the odds are even smaller than the whole herd immunity argument.
Yeah, that's hard for me to decide on because, like, I do think everyone should get vaccinated at some point. But I also know if I knew what was going to happen to me after the second dose, I mean, I was literally out and sick in bed for like 3 to 4 days.
Same.
Yeah.
I would have been very reluctant to get that. Very.
But again, like that's a very small price, I think, in exchange for being immunized. Sure, you feel knocked up for 2 to 3 days. I'm not knocking that. That's a pretty shitty situation to be in. But in exchange for that 2 to 3 days of feeling shit, you are immunized from COVID, and we are all one step further to returning to normality. I think in terms of trade-offs, that's pretty good.
Well, it's not like they're not vaccinating kids. There's some kids that are getting vaccinated.
I don't know that much about that.
No, I don't
Because
either.
when I went to get mine, there was like literally a 6-hour. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures, but I sent pictures. There was like a 6-hour line, and there was kids there. So I guess it's going a little slow for kids because there wasn't a lot of kids.
Well, I think children
And-
are coming last on the list. To be fair, they're much further
Yeah.
down. I would just argue that children are the ones being fucked over in terms of losing out on things the most. I don't know.
My main problem with it is like the way I got it was kind of like. Because the only reason I was able to get it is because I knew a doctor that worked at the hospital. So if you don't know a doctor, you probably won't be able to get it.
Well, that's what I mean. Some of it's quite favouristic. I think I mentioned this before on the podcast, but I don't think I'm going to get even my first dose until around August, September, at the rate it's being rolled out here. Anyway, point is, get your fucking vaccine, I suppose would be the takeaway from this. Don't be a moron, get your fucking jab. It might knock you up for a few days, and we apologise in advance for that, but the net result is worth it, is what I would argue anyway.
I don't apologize. I didn't do anything to the viewers. I refuse to apologize. And everyone, please keep in mind, we're not doctors. We're three idiots that do YouTube. So talk to your doctor before you consider getting the vaccine, because, always talk to your doctor before you do anything.
Get your vaccine, but be patient as well, because there are other people that are more at risk than you. So on one hand, you'll get your turn, be patient, and when your turn comes around, fucking take it. Don't be a moron. You're putting everyone else at risk.
I like how you say everything so generally.
Well, I mean, you've got...
Yeah,
I don't know
there's more people at risk for you. There can be literally someone in the hospital bed.
I don't know who's listening.
To the podcast
I'm not psychic,
Woz.
Okay. I'm not telepathic. I can't look into the
That's why
future.
I know.
I can't look
I'm
into
not,
the future and decide who is listening to me saying these words several weeks after I say them.
I'm just saying you say a lot of things generally.
Well, you've got to be general to get your message across to the widest possible audience.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because you're being a moron.
Why are you yelling?
Because you're being a moron.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
It's like
you're being. You've just
God.
accused me of pandering to an audience that hasn't even heard me saying things yet.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just saying I think it's funny that you talk a lot generally. It's not a bad thing. What the heck?
In order to get the message across to the widest possible audience, which I think is important in this case for COVID and vaccines, one must be reasonably general in your speaking. That's just a common
All right.
fact.
If you guys aren't in the hospital, viewer,
got me confused.
If
Do
you're
you
not
mean
in the hospital,
as in like addressing the general audience,
Yes.
or saying a general statement?
I'm saying things generally for a general audience because I don't know who will be listening. Because again, I don't have the knowledge of foresight and telepathy.
Relax.
Viewer, do you hear that? You're average. You're general. You're nothing.
suck
You
shit.
are
You're never
just
gonna be
normal.
special.
You are side characters.
You're all
to
NPCs.
our
You just called
story.
us side characters, was.
I said I'm talking to the viewers.
And you claimed that you don't have an ego.
Oh my! He literally just said the same thing I said. He literally just said the same thing. I just repeated it.
No.
Fuck you, man.
I didn't say that people
We
were
literally
side
just said
characters.
the same
I didn't say they were side characters.
See, the problem is, Woz, you say it with an ego. I say it with conviction.
Oh yeah, because I have a Tesla right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, you do. Well, there you go. You've just proved my point. You have not been able to go a single episode without mentioning that you have a Tesla. And
I haven't gone a single day without you people in the Discord saying, "Oh, it's because you got."
you're the one that just brought it
By the
up.
way, guys,
You're
we
the
have
one
a
that just brought it
Discord.
up.
If you guys
you
would
just
like to
brought up
join,
that you've got a
there's a
Tesla.
link
That
in the
wasn't
description.
me. You were the one
There's a
that
link in the
mentioned
description
of
if
your
you'd
own
like to
free
join the
will.
Discord. We
you
talk
got a
a lot.
Tesla. You mentioned that of your own free will.
you wanna
Imagine
see
buying
more
a Tesla
messages-
just to get bullied for having a Tesla.
I know. Fucking shit. It's because they're jealous.
I couldn't give a shit about your Tesla.
Then why do you keep bringing it up?
I didn't bring it up. You brought it up this episode, you moron.
You brought it up last one.
No, I didn't.
And then you also, I was watching the podcast,
Right.
and the one where the main joke was about me bringing up the Tesla. You're the one that brought it up.
Yeah, because you continually brought it up before, and I was getting sick of it.
But you brought it up. We could have gone that whole episode without talking about it.
No, we couldn't.
But since
No,
I
we couldn't.
I said
No, we couldn't.
I
You
was
would've brought
camping.
it up
Since I
anyway.
said I was
You'd have
camping in
brought
my
it up
Tesla
anyway.
because the power
You'd
was
have brought
out.
it
You're
up
like,
anyway,
oh,
and you know it.
yo,
You were fucking itching to
yo,
mention
show-
your fucking
show-
Model 3 Tesla. You probably wank off about it every night.
carpets. Tea carpets.
You guys are my favorite people.
No,
I
so
swear.
fucking done.
I don't even mean that ironically. You guys are so much fun.
Lord.
I feel like our personalities just mesh together like perfectly. Just because we're all three of us are like pretty different and similar at the
This
same
is why
time.
I agreed to do this podcast because I knew it would be a shit show, and that's quite entertaining.
I thought the funniest part of this whole part is that while he was getting mad, I was like advertising the Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord, and he's like, "Oh fuck you, Woz."
I didn't even hear you. I tend to zone out most of the things you say because most of it's unimportant bollocks.
The viewers will. If you would like to join the Discord, link description.
Oh yeah.
Are we still
Are
doing?
we
that?
doing-
Are you
are we-
still letting people
Yeah,
in?
yeah,
Alright.
we still have a Discord.
Alright,
Well, we
Yeah.
haven't advertised
We still have a
questions this week. I don't think we've advertised a single question for like months now.
What do you mean? I did it today.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's fine then.
Oh, we
My
wanna answer
apologies.
some.
Yeah, we got questions.
Oh, that's fine
Yeah, we
then.
did
That's
today.
fine then. We can look at that later. Well,
Yeah,
no,
Not too many.
we're only
Do
like
it right
20
now.
minutes in. We might as well talk about something
Oh,
else
later.
first.
Okay. Dead ass. Oh my god, it feels like an hour.
Well, everything feels like an hour with you.
Shit.
around.
Well, we were talking for 15 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, we were. To be fair, we were. Well, if we're running short on things to talk about, have both of you heard about the Josh Swain battle that recently went down? I talked about it myself, but
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, who is that?
you don't know. You don't know.
Let's explain.
Well, basically, this is generally one of the funniest things to come out of the internet in a while. I think a year ago from now, on the 24th of April, 2020.
Oh fuck! I know what you're talking about now.
A meme appeared on the internet where a guy called Josh Swain added everyone else on Facebook called Josh Swain to a group and basically said, look,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
we meet
I
at
now
these
know what you're
coordinates in
talking
a
about.
year and we'll fight, and whoever wins gets to keep the name. You've got a year to prepare. And sure enough, everyone just thought it was a stupid meme, but a year passed, and on the 24th of April 2021, a few days ago, people actually showed the fuck up, and there was actually a great battle of the Josh Swains. And it was live streamed
What
and
did they
everything.
use
That
to
was
fight
great.
with?
They used pool
won?
noodles. They used pool noodles.
That is so cool. I love how the internet can create events like this. That's
And
so
people
cool.
were dressed up as like Spider-Man and shit like that. People were dressed up as like Roman gladiators. It was ridiculous, and everyone was armed with pool noodles. And there was a massive fight in the middle of a field, in amongst all the people called Josh Swain. And they let some child win it, some 5-year-old kid, and they crowned him victorious with a Burger King crown.
Oh no,
Damn.
that was a bad timing to use a Burger King crown.
Yeah, I know, right?
We won't talk about that. I'm pretty sure people already know about that.
Well, that was ages ago now.
Yeah, that
was a
was.
few
I
months
think it was
ago.
the beginning
International
of
Women's Day
March.
thing.
Oh, dead ass. Oh my
Well,
God.
whenever International Women's Day was, that's when it went down.
Oh,
They
shit.
fucking put that stupid tweet out.
You know, usually I'm disappointed to be a part of the internet in my generation witnessing the events that we fucking pull. But you know what? This Josh thing, it just gives me faith that the internet is still a beautiful place where awesome things can
No,
happen.
that's what I mean. I said this in my video. It restored just a little bit of my faith in the internet. It's just one of those nice, generally funny, wholesome things that, you know, it's like it doesn't happen very often, but it's one of those little miraculous, uncommon gems.
Like Area 51, that raid in 2019. That
No.
was awesome.
No, the Area 51 raid was fucking stupid.
Come on, everyone
I thought that
showed
was
up
stupid.
and partied and had a good time. I mean, they didn't actually raid it.
People nearly died in the fucking cold of Nevada desert in the night. It dropped to like -20, and people were in like t-shirts and shorts and shit.
I was told it was like Mardi Gras, like everyone was like partying and shit.
Yeah, wasn't there like a concert?
Yeah, they were.
too?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, but then like it dropped to like sub-zero temperatures, and everyone quickly cleared off. The whole thing was over in like 3 hours. I'm not saying the Josh Swain battle lasted much longer, but you know, it was at least a little more coordinated, and people didn't nearly die.
That is true. I mean, it being that cold, I would fuck off too, especially in the middle of the desert. But what are you expecting? You're in the middle of a desert at night.
Well, that's what I mean. People should have come prepared for it. You're coming to a desert. You're intending to stay a while. Bring some warm clothes, but no one even considered it.
Ah, poor aliens. If only we could free them one day.
I just right. You okay? Sure.
I mean, you
sure.
never know. We might be able to do it.
You've clearly been watching too much Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I love his alien stuff.
Do you genuinely believe that there's aliens in there at this point?
Okay, the David Fravor story with the Tic Tac object and with the way they even caught it on footage and stuff. That
What
shit
the fuck?
freaks
The
me
Tic Tac
out.
object.
You've never heard of this thing?
The Tic Tac object. Is he talking about Woz's cock or what?
No,
You've seen
no.
my dick.
This thing's
It's fucking
amazing.
big.
You've got a Tic Tac cock, Woz. I haven't seen your dick. I haven't seen your dick, and I don't want it.
I'll fucking send
You want to send me?
Right
Go
now.
on. You send me a picture of your cock. See if I care.
Okay.
I'll flame it live on the podcast.
Okay.
I warn you. You send me a picture of your cock, and I'll tell everyone on the podcast right now that it's minuscule.
Why is it 90 degrees?
Anyway,
What?
what's this story you Phantom, about aliens having Tic Tac cocks or whatever?
No, it's the ship. It's just the thing they called the ship. I'm surprised you've never. Okay, after the podcast, I'm definitely gonna have to just send you something about this because this isn't like this is not fake UFO shit. This is real, actually unexplained footage, and a actual like reputable person, credible, who is a flight commander. I don't know the exact name of the title, but he was in the Navy flying a jet when he saw this thing and recorded it. And he saw it with his own eyes. David Fravor, that's the guy's name. He tells the story amazingly. And it's still an
Nice picture of
unexplained
a
event.
chicken, by the way, Woz.
That's a cock.
Sorry to cut across you there, Phantom, but Woz has just sent me a picture
That
of a
is
chicken,
not a chicken.
in Discord
That is
chat.
not a chicken.
It's a picture of his cock. Anyway,
It's a
sorry.
picture of a cock.
No, you're fine. Oh, God.
Fucking rooster.
But that's probably the only thing I can legitly believe that happened that had to do with some kind of other life. I do think there's other life in the universe, but I also think I don't know, humans can't be. If you have the power to travel across the universe, we can't be that entertaining.
I agree that we're not the only life out there. I think there's certainly life out there. But I don't think that humans have interacted with them. And I don't think they've got, pieces of alien ships and bodies in Area 51.
That shit, it's weird when you look into the history of it. Like, what's it called? West Alamos base? I can't remember the name. I'm fucking up names here. But there's a lot of, like, credible stories you can actually look into that don't have that many explanations. Kind of like the way the craft was moving when they tracked it on the radar. It was the Tic Tac object was also committing an act of war by jamming radar, so they weren't able to track it. So they had to do it manually, which is really hard. You can see them trying the footage. I'm telling you, I'll send you the stuff. It's super interesting.
Yeah.
It's the one thing no skeptic or anybody has been able to refute. It's literally astonishing. And even the government, the U.S. government, has come out and said, yes, all that footage is real. No, we don't know what it is. So it's either another advanced vehicle from another country or it's not from this world.
Well, possibly then. But that's what I mean. I don't think there's any... and again, I haven't seen this yet. And I'm one hell of a skeptic, but I don't think that aliens have contacted Earth. And I think while there might be extraterrestrial life out there... Here's the thing I was reading recently, actually. It's kind of like... it puts in perspective the kind of probability of, how rare it would be to meet other life when you think about it, right? So you think of... so first you've got to consider how many stars are out there that a planet could orbit. So you narrow it down to maybe 10 billion possible stars, right? Now, of those stars,
well, the universe is infinite, isn't it? Like more.
This is just for example's sake. In reasonably nearby vicinity, you narrow it down to about 10 billion stars that could have a planet go round it that could support life, right? Now, of those 10 billion stars, only a few are going to actually develop those planets, right?
Yeah.
And of those planets that develop that could support life, only a few of them are actually going to get life. Some of them might have the conditions, but life may never develop on them. So of those many planets, only a few of them will actually develop life. Of that life that develops, only some of it will gain sentience. Of those sentient beings, only some of them will gain the intelligence to be able to communicate. Of those that can communicate, only some will be bothered to. Some just won't be asked. And even if some of them manage to communicate and send out messages to the stars, by the time we hear them, they may have died out hundreds of millions of years ago.
Martians.
That is true.
So when you put all that in perspective, it's like the odds of meeting... or that's the thing, we've sent out messages to the stars as well. By the time it's picked up by other life, we might have been dead and gone for billions of years.
Oh, we definitely will be.
And that's the thing. So when you put it all in perspective like that, the odds of meeting other life is incredibly slim, though I do believe somewhere out there might be.
Well, I hope so. Be an awfully empty, boring universe.
Imagine if humans were the only life. How depressing would that be?
That would be so fucking depressing. Not because, like...
we have memes.
I just think that if we're we're fucked.
I feel like there has to be more. We haven't seen... We've only been, like... How far have we been, like... We've seen outside our galaxy or no?
We have, but only with, very advanced telescopes.
See. We haven't even seen, like, another one close up. We don't even know.
Andromeda is the closest one we've seen.
The problem as well, of course, is you make all these probes to explore the far reaches of the galaxy and, distant planets, but it takes them, decades to arrive. So by the time they've arrived and done their research, we back home have got much better technology. So there will always be that lag of, we're limited by, the stuff we're sending to places like Neptune and Pluto, we made those in the 80s.
Yeah.
The technology we have now is, severely and dramatically increased, and yet we're still limited by what we had in the 80s today, in that vein. That's another problem.
Well, they also need to send the message back. They can't just record it, and that takes just as long as the probe moving away,
Well, exactly, yeah. So I believe it's 30 years to get to Neptune. So by the time you do a round trip and get your information back, you're already 60 years behind.
Well, there's got to be a way to... better technology to a point where we're able to travel fast. I mean, there has to be a way, right? And when I say fast, I mean like fucking fast.
Well, even at a speed, faster than light, it would still take you, decades to reach these planets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need something
That's
like
the thing.
instant transmission.
And we can't really go too fast
but that's,
because of G-force.
Yeah, like what would happen to our bodies inside of a spaceship if we went that fast?
It's impossible to say, but
Well, actually, no matter can travel as fast as light, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's ways of... I don't know. I'm not particularly big on physics, or I don't particularly know more than the basics.
I believe if you have, like, matter, you can't. It's, like, impossible.
Well, that's the thing. All I know is even if you're traveling at the speed of light, it would still take you, billions of years, or billions of light years even, to reach, certain parts of our solar system and other galaxies. Even if you're traveling at potentially the top speed of all time, it would still take you billions of years.
Well, you know what they say. God's real and he's American.
And he's black. That's
And there was me thinking an intelligent... No, never mind. You just shit all over it. Congratulations, Woz Count.
his name is Obama.
His name's Obama.
I was actually enjoying that conversation. I was actually and you've just thoroughly fucked it in
Let's
the
have
arse.
Obama
Well
on the
done, Woz
podcast.
Count.
Could he be an alien?
Wasn't he an alien? Who's the alien guy? The Facebook
Oh, that's a lizard.
Arnold. What's his name? Xenoberg,
Right.
something like that.
Xenomorph? What are you on about?
No. Who's the guy that made Facebook? That looks like a lizard?
Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Xenomorph.
If there's-
Such an idiot.
Xenoberg.
If there's aliens, he's the closest one to
He's
it.
an android.
Yeah, no,
Or
dude,
he's a
he's
lizard.
not an android. He's a lizard person.
He's an Altwit.
Cool.
I believe he's an underground lizard person from Earth.
He has a wife, right?
Come on.
Let's go.
Does he?
She must be thoroughly done with life.
Guys, Pitbull was in Vegas. I saw him.
What?
Are you sure it
Where the
wasn't
fuck did
bald
that
guy?
come from?
No, he was there. Does that guy
It's
still make
actually
music?
Pitbull. Not
Yeah,
just
it
a
was.
bald guy.
That was like dead ass. But does
The
he
Mr.
actually?
Worldwide.
Does he make music? Like I
Still?
haven't heard of him.
No.
I haven't heard of him since like Fireball. Brum, 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 brum. Like,
I haven't listened to
What?
Pitbull since like 2009.
I know.
Shit.
Like what's going on? Like is he dead?
His last song came out in 2020.
Dead
What?
ass.
Dead ass. I just
He
looked it
still
up.
made. I just assumed he'd, swallowed the last of his dignity, made a load of shitty songs in the early 2000s, and retired with millions. That's what I'd have done. I can't believe he's still making musical atrocities.
Well, was his music really good? I don't know, man. Oh my god, dude, his music's dead. His last video only had like 93,000.
Wow.
Ooh.
52,000. Man's just trying to live.
I mean, you just give up at that point. You've probably got enough to live reasonably comfortably for the rest of your life anyway.
well, the person that I thought would be like that, where they'd just live and they won't make any more music, was Eminem, and he's still popping.
Well, yeah, but at least he's actually tried new stuff. As far as I'm aware, Pitbull is still making the same shitty pop music as he was in like 2006. You've got to change your content and evolve with the times in order to stay reasonably on top of things. I don't think Pitbull's capable of doing that.
I always saw Pitbull as like a
He's also
douchebag.
probably rich, you know?
But that's what I was saying. I'm surprised he hasn't just, retired and buggered off into the middle of nowhere in a mansion and just, lived quietly.
He might have. He might just do it for fun.
Maybe.
Oh no, talking about ending music careers. Dude, Daft Punk. If I hear anything of Daft Punk anymore, it's so sad. No,
I don't
hold on,
particularly
hold on.
care.
No.
Well, they hadn't
Yeah,
made
but hold
music
on,
in like
wait,
8
hold on.
years. They
No,
hadn't made music
let
in
me tell you the
years.
worst part. No, there's a reason why I brought this up. There's a reason. Like I know it's they retired, whatever, right? Dude, Silk, Milk made a commercial with their song. It's so cringe. It's like a kid's bop. It makes me want to die. Like, what's your
Right.
favorite song, Moo?
What do you mean?
Like, what's your favorite one? Like, what's your favorite song? Like in general.
What? Just off the top of my head, "Stairway to Heaven" by Led Zeppelin.
All right, let's imagine that as a kid's bop for Silk Milk.
Well, yeah, fine. I'm sure atrocities like
Wouldn't
that
be
exist. I
cats?
just wouldn't listen
Like,
to it.
Sheesh. Like, but
You just-
it's such a
you just don't listen
sellout.
to
that
it.
sounds
You
so
just don't listen to
sellout
it.
though, no?
They massacred
Yeah.
my boy.
Well, yeah,
I
fine.
feel like
Sure,
they
they
just
sold out, but that
sold
doesn't
out.
destroy the.
I know, it's
that
so sad.
doesn't. You can still have the song as the song though, and keep that. It's you just avoid that shit. Doesn't matter how much they flog it and sell it. You still have that original song, and you
I know,
can't
it's just-
change that.
It was weird to see that their new stuff is literally just their old songs in a commercial about milk.
Hot take, right? Hot take, and I appreciate that there's a lot of Daft Punk fans out there who were very distraught, right? But Daft Punk had not made any original music since like 2013. It's like,
well,
what's-
they made
you-
their last song was in 2019, and it
yeah, but that was a collaboration.
It was like
That's what I mean.
it was a collaboration, and it wasn't that great. They produced it, but it was like, eh.
No, but here's my point though. It's like they haven't made any music of their own since 2013. They've made a few things after that, but all of them were collaborations, and most of them were a bit meh. What I'm saying is the announcement that they were finally retiring shouldn't have been that much of a surprise. They basically retired in 2013.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised they put on their like little retirement video 1993 to 2021. Like, what the
Yeah,
hell
the
did
one
you
that
do
you ripped
2021?
off to do this fucking Krakpot's over meme. a
Oh
few
yeah,
months
that was
ago.
so funny.
You
I
prick.
thought that was hilarious. That got a lot of views. Come on,
It
that was
did,
pretty
but
good.
it was. Yeah, but you're still a prick for it.
I thought it was funny.
I didn't.
All jokes and funnies.
No, it wasn't.
Which
I didn't
one?
find it. The
The-
Crackpots is over
The
meme.
thank you, just kidding. I thought that was kind of funny.
The just kidding one, I think, is really funny.
The Just Kidding one was like our third most viewed video. Let's go.
But at least it conveys my opinions well, which is fuck you, America.
Fuck you.
It
Dude,
just
man.
it sounds exactly like
It
you.
does.
It's so
It does.
perfect.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
does.
a British
no, I asked
voice.
everyone.
We don't.
I asked
No.
everyone, and they agree.
It's just a British voice. You're just all American.
Dude, it's
You
not
don't know-
British. Even if it was an American accent, it would still sound like you. It sounded like your voice.
How would an
Fuck you,
American
American.
accent sound like me?
You can still sound like somebody and just say it in a different accent.
No, you can't. What are you on
Yes, I
about,
do.
you moron?
Gertie
Yes, you
Vlog
can.
here, coming at you live. Like,
So this
that's
is my-
Kermit Russian.
So this is my
Yo
friend
hablo español,
Mohandas.
por favor.
This is my friend
that was-
Gandhi.
that was Drake.
He's got a real strong Indian accent, but we sound exactly the same. Is basically what you just said.
that guy's no. That's the British. spot.
No. Same voice, same sound, not same.
How does
Articulation.
an American voice and a British voice sound remotely similar? They don't.
It's not the accent. I'm talking about the actual voice, like like your vocal cords, like the noise. No matter what, you're never gonna. You can do a couple different accents, but you're gonna
Yeah.
sound like the same person, no matter what. It's your voice. It's
So
just
you're
what
talking
you sound
about?
like.
Are you talking about inflections? Because some people are quite blunt like me, but we don't sound similar. There's very blunt Canadian people.
No, it's the
I've met.
sound. It's not even the inflection. It just sounds like you.
No, but they don't sound similar. Because Americans talk like you, and Britons talk like me, just as a general example. And
yeah,
those
but
two
Mallow
voices.
has a different voice than you.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I never claim to be. I don't sound the same as him, though. That's the point.
If he did an American accent, he would still sound like himself, just an American.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I just think he'd sound like a shitty American. I can do a
That's a little
Scouser
ra-
accent.
that's a
It
little
doesn't sound
racist.
like me.
We should do an experiment. We should have
You don't-
people.
You don't sound
do
like
different
yourself when
accents.
you're doing an accent. I can do a Liverpool accent, and I don't sound like me.
You don't sound like how you normally talk, but you can't change the way your voice sounds.
Yes, I can, because I can do different accents, so that changes how I sound.
I can kind of agree
By
with
default.
Mo. I can make my
By-
voice
I
sound
mean-
different. Like,
Thank
"Ew,
you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. See, that sounds way different.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can still tell it's from the same person.
Well, yeah, because Woz said, hey, I'm about
Yeah.
to do a different voice.
No, I know, but I'm saying like, okay, all right, let me
you,
put it this
American.
way. When there's a voice actor doing different roles, you may not catch it until someone tells you, but if you're looking and you can hear, oh, they do this character, they do this character,
no.
they do this character,
No.
you can be like, oh, that is the same person.
I would argue different. Mark Hamill, who plays Luke Skywalker on that malarkey, also does the Joker for various
You
Batman
can
games.
totally hear the Joker's
No,
voice
you
in
can't.
Luke Skywalker screaming.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. Mark
I
Hamill
can
does
hear
not
it.
sound anything like the Joker. And that's what makes him a brilliant voice actor.
Well, the
Or
Joker's
when he just
very exaggerated.
Yeah, but, still, the point applies. He's changed his voice. It doesn't sound like him anymore. Doesn't
All
matter
right.
how exaggerated
How about
it
when
is.
Luke Skywalker gets his hand cut off and he finds out his dad, spoiler alert, finds out his dad is Darth Vader and he's like, no! You can't hear the Joker in that
No,
when he
doesn't-
screams no?
No, it doesn't particularly sound like the Joker. It's not the same.
That was
inflections.
Mark Hamill. I'm just kidding.
I can pick that up.
I can probably pick that up a little bit, yeah.
Mark Hamill speaking regularly sounds absolutely nothing like the Joker speaking regularly. Therefore, Mark Hamill has changed his voice to sound completely different, and that's one of the good things about a talented voice actor.
Yes, completely different, but you can still, like...
No,
God,
because
it's
that's my.
hard
I didn't
to-
realize Mark Hamill voiced the Joker in Batman the Animated Series until I was about 17, and I know that sounds stupid. And I was dumb when I was 17, but I watched that show for decades, and I never realized until I was about 17, 18 that it was Mark Hamill did the voice, and that I think is a credit to how good a voice actor he is and how
No, he's an
differently he made
amazing
his voice.
actor. And don't get me wrong, it does sound like a... God, it's hard for me to explain this, because it sounds exactly like a different...
I really want to try what you're
Voice.
smoking, V Fountain. This sounds
But
amazing.
I can still tell it's the same person.
I would
Like,
argue
no
to
one
the
else could
contrary.
do the Joker voice. If someone else does a Joker voice compared to Mark Hamill, I can tell you that it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. You can distinguish one person's impression from another, but that still doesn't mean that one person
Because
in
you
all
can
their
hear their
different.
voice. You can tell.
No. Well, no, because you get used to someone's different voice. Yeah, you get used to Mark Hamill's impression of the Joker, but it's still an impression. It's still totally different to what he sounds like in real life.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I can't disagree with that, but
Impressions
I don't
can
think
be
I have a
unique.
good way of explaining this.
Impressions can be unique, I shall give you that, absolutely, but they're still completely different if a voice actor is talented enough to how they, or he or she or whatever, sounds in real life.
Yeah, but if your voice is capable of changing like that, isn't that still technically your voice?
Yes, but it doesn't sound like you. That's the point. You are creating the sound, but it's not the sound that
It
is
does sound
usually...
like you, because it's your voice, though.
No, it doesn't sound like you. That's what I mean. It's coming from you, but it doesn't sound like you, and that is, again, one of the many talents of a good voice actor, like Mark Hamill, for example. What do you think, Woz?
Okay.
I think, well, the main thing we're talking about is you and the robot. If we said...
Oh, don't bring it back to that. Come on.
Well, hold on. Oh, my God. Okay, hold on. Let me finish. Okay?
Okay, fine.
If we said, all right, Moo, try to sound like the thing. Try to sound like the voice line.
I
And
can't
you
even
were
remember
like
what it sounds like.
totally complying. If you were like totally complying with it, you would sound like it. Like there's no question about it. Like I know you're trying to say no, but there you would sound like it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how to, like, I'm not even joking, dude. It sounds dead ass exactly like, when I first heard it, I literally thought it was you. I had to
I don't
ask
think it
Woz,
sounds
is that
anything
text
like
to
me.
speech or is that Moo?
I don't think it sounds
And
anything
he was like,
like
no,
that.
it's text to speech.
Well, I know it's because it's a bias. Like mentally, you're biasly choosing that it doesn't sound like you.
Okay, you know what? I'll concede that. That's fair enough. I will concede that point. That there's bias in that situation. I'll give you that one. But I still think that people can change their voices to the point where it no longer sounds like them. And my example will always be Mark Hamill's The Joker.
I can agree with that, but I can say
kind
that
of,
you
but-
can still tell, like, if it's him giving the performance. You can still tell if it's Mark Hamill.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Case in point. You know, I didn't know Mark Hamill made that voice for years. So that's number one. You can change your voice to the point where it's unrecognizable. But even after I knew that Mark Hamill did that voice, you know, you'd show me another impression, I'd be able to go, yeah, that's not Mark Hamill. So yeah, I agree with you to that extent. But his impression is still completely different to his regular voice, to the point where I didn't pick up that it was the same person for about 10, 11 years.
You can't tie his mannerisms to his regular voice using the Joker voice?
I didn't. Not for 11 years, no.
Well, like, if you don't know it's him, there's no fucking way you can guess that. Because voice actors, like you said, they change their voice. That's the point of their job. So you're not going to know. But once you know that he does the Joker voice, can you connect his mannerisms with the way he speaks regularly with the Joker? Because I can.
I mean, yeah, sure, with the benefit of hindsight, maybe, but that's the point. Even so, it's difficult to do, and I think he's changed his mannerisms incredibly well. His mannerisms are still pretty undistinguishable. And again, you know what, I can use Woz's very argument against you. Maybe it's your bias. Maybe it's because you know it's Mark Hamill that you're connecting these mannerisms, when in reality, to someone else who doesn't, the mannerisms are totally different.
Well, it can go both ways too. You can just be choosing bias because of the one fact that you didn't know.
Well,
So
maybe
I
I
think
can,
it
maybe
go
I
both
am,
ways.
but I can go off my own
Damn, that's
experience. I can go off my own experience, which is for about 11 years, I didn't realise that Mark Hamill voiced that character. The voice, the mannerisms, the general tone and theme of the voice were totally different to what I knew, which was Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. You know?
I have an example. Let's take out Luke Skywalker because it's
Right.
such a different character, such a different voice. It's not a cartoon.
And
it's
different
really hard to
time.
compare a cartoon to like
Okay.
live action stuff. How about this? Skips. Have you ever seen the regular show? The
Yeah,
white
but-
ape Skips. That's Mark
Uh,
Hamill.
Fucking what?
Yeah, no joke. And now that you know that, can
You're
you tie
shitting me.
that to the Joker?
Well, that's what
if
I mean.
you listen to both voices side by side, you can definitely tell that it's him.
Well, this
if that
might be
makes sense.
this might be a
Now
poor
that you
example
know.
to use on me because I haven't watched the regular show in again about 10 years. I used to watch it on Cartoon Network when I was genuinely a child. I haven't watched it since. So I remember what the character looks like, but I don't remember what it sounds like. But you know, I don't remember it sounding like Mark.
but a lot more raspy.
But that's what I mean. Maybe he's recycling voices at that point. You know what I mean? It's like you can only make so many sounds with your voice. The point is, though, whatever his name is, fucking White Ape from regular shows, also sounds completely different to Mark Hamill. And I only just realised now, live on this podcast, that they were the same person. He made
Did you ever watch Avatar?
Which one? Like Avatar the cartoon or Avatar the Blue People?
Last Airbender.
Oh no, I never watched that. No.
He's in there too.
Well, that's what I mean. I wouldn't have known that. And I didn't know that whatever his name is from regular show is by Mark Hamill as well, which proves my point that a person can change their voice to the point where it no longer sounds like them and you cannot connect it with that person at all. You proved my point twice here now.
Yeah, but I don't know if I've... Maybe I proved your point for you, but for me, I don't know if I have.
Okay, fair enough.
Because for me, I can still recognize it and find it as like an iconic voice that I can recognize.
I've just realised what
and associate with.
I've just realised what an utterly retarded argument this has been.
It's not retarded. I think it's bringing up good points on
It's
both
pretty
sides.
interesting.
Okay,
It's like
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can just see some people switching off at home listening to this, like, what the fuck are they on about?
No, I think
No, I see
don't
what
know.
you mean though.
I think I kind of get it.
It's fair enough. It's an interesting debate, but I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on it.
We will.
As my old history teacher used to say, everyone's entitled to an opinion, even if they're wrong.
Yep. Well, it'll be hard to tell who's wrong or right. Please leave in the comments who you think is wrong or right.
Yeah. Leave in the comments. There you go. That's a good way to do
And
it.
to be clear, I'm not saying that voice actors can't
Yeah.
change their voices. That's their job. I'm just saying you can kind of recognize where they come from. That's my whole.
Did you know
base, but-
Naruto from the dubbed version is a woman?
No,
Yeah.
I've never watched that show either. I don't watch anime.
Did you know Attack on Titan Armin?
I
the
don't-
little
What part of
blonde guy
what-
is
What part
I
voiced
of
by a
haven't seen
woman?
that show.
what part of I don't watch anime didn't you quite get there? I've never
That's not
watched anime.
anime.
At all, or any kind
It's
of
not anime.
well, whatever it is. I've never watched it. Any kind of Japanese kind of cartoon, or I just don't watch that stuff.
That's
I've got
not
nothing
Japanese.
against. I've got whatever it is. I've got nothing against anime or Japanese cartoons. It's just not my thing. I've never watched it.
Have you given it a try?
I've given it a try. I remember my mate showing me a couple of episodes of. I think it was. Well, I've watched a few episodes of Naruto anyway because I record a series.
Well, that's your problem.
Because I voice in Naruto Abridged on YouTube by SpectroSofa. I voice a character called Neji. I have no idea about the show. He just sends me the lines and I do it. But I've watched a few episodes of that for that role. My friends have tried to show me a few episodes of various animes. The names escape me, but I just never particularly enjoyed them. That's all. It's not my cup of tea.
I used to
I
hate
think-
anime until last year.
I didn't really like Attack on Titan. I liked your guys' abridged one. I thought that was funny. I like watching the bridge shit of animes, but the actual show's too long.
Well, I thoroughly
Like
recommend.
700 episodes.
I thoroughly recommend SpectroSofa's Naruto Abridged, and not just because I voice in it. That's a very obvious plus. But
oh yeah, I liked it.
No, but genuinely, as someone that I have no idea what Naruto's about, I've only watched 2 episodes, and they're just from completely different sections in the show, so I had no idea what was going on. I know absolutely nothing about the program, and yet this abridged version never ceases to make me laugh, and I think that is a good staple of a good parody. Someone who has no idea about the original source material, was cracking up and dying with laughter at some of the stuff going on. It was really funny.
I've seen it. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun.
I made a shitty SoundCloud mixtape for it. It's fucking excellent. Anyway, we should do some questions at this point, don't you think?
Oh yeah, we don't have that many.
No, we
but
don't, to be fair.
I think it's good enough.
There's an excellent one here right at the very start. Why is Moocake so hot? And it's just like, well, beats me, you know? I am just...
I think it's dog water. You know, like that's what I think.
I think
about
it has to do with his keck.
What?
Your keck.
Yeah.
I think it's got to do with my incredibly amazing charm, endless wit, general sense of fashion, and incredibly funny roasts. I think that's the primary
I think it's
reason.
all due to your keck.
I think
I have no
it's-
idea what...
Yeah.
What?
You don't know what your... Come on, man. Everyone has a kick.
A kick or a keck? As in, like, keck.
Keck.
Right.
As in my keck.
Yeah, right.
My keck in bows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
My keck.
You-
I'm saying you're hot because of your keck.
like have
My
you ever seen the show
cock.
Candace?
Yeah, that one.
Have you seen the
Right,
show
right.
Candace or no?
No, I haven't. No.
Seen what?
Candace, the show.
Candace.
Candy's dick
No,
in
no,
your
no,
mouth,
no, no,
pussy? Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Damn it.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again to my fucking face.
God damn it.
Say that again to my face.
Ah, it's so good. I have. Thank you for guys watching the podcast. Nah, this just ends it.
You're a piece of shit.
Let's go.
I've walked away. I'm pacing back
I'm
and
the
forth
baby.
now.
I'm the baby.
Did he get us both, Phantom? Did he get us
Yeah,
both?
he was asking.
No, I think it was just me.
No, I got you both. He asked what it was.
He said, "What is that?" But I'm the one who said Candace.
Well, I said no. I haven't watched it.
And I got him. It still counts. Whichever, even if I just got Phantom, let's
Joke's
go.
on you, Woz Count, because you have a tiny penis and your selfie was awful.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I fucked more bitches than you, bro.
Who cares? That's the most arbitrary reason to claim that you're better
Yeah,
than someone.
no,
I'm smarter than you. That's much better.
You're
isn't it?
not smarter than me. I know math pretty well.
I'm more intelligent than you.
Well,
that's just a fact, I'm afraid.
that's
Do you guys want to talk about triangles?
dude, triangles.
Well,
I
you might be more
think you're
intelligent than me.
smarter in some areas, but I think I'm smarter in some areas too.
Here, let me concede, because I'm about to pay you a compliment. Your ego will like this, right? I think in terms of mathematics, you are definitely smarter than me. In terms of mathematics, you definitely know more than me. But in terms of across the board, more generally, I know more than you. In general, I know more than you.
But you don't even
but in the
know
field of
me.
Mathematics.
You don't even know what degrees I have, what I've been doing since I was like a child.
Yeah, sure, but I know that I'm more intelligent than you.
You don't know the
You don't know
In general,
where I was
I am
born.
more intelligent than you, Woz Count. I'm afraid that's just
I don't
a
know.
fact.
You guys spell
I'm sorry.
color weird, so
No,
See what
I just
happens.
know. I am more intelligent than you generally, and that's fine. That's not even a humble.
I want to pick a
I don't know.
subject that none of us knows anything about, and I just want to have
I
us
know my
teach it.
hair's better than yours. Ah, got him! Ah! I'm just kidding.
Your heritage is pointless and useless information.
Dude, my hair
so
looks
no, I don't know
fucking
anything about
nice,
it.
bro. But you don't have hair.
Your mum, I don't know who
Did
your
you
mother
say your
is, but
mom?
She was great in bed.
Your mom, fucking wrecked.
Well, you said you don't know who your mother is. I was like, no, I don't, but I know
I
she's
said
That's
you.
what?
Yeah.
she's great in
Like,
bed though.
I don't know who my
Confirm
mom
that,
is.
Mark.
Oh wow, she doesn't have legs.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Yes, she's way more
The
flexible.
viewers
as a
will love
result.
that
It's
you just
brilliant.
made fun of someone without legs.
How can you be flexible without legs?
Oh, all the positions you can get into. I've got a bunk bed, you see, so she can
That's
still.
cheating. You need legs to be flexible.
No. Well, she's proved that entire thing wrong. You should hire her out sometime. She's excellent fun.
Oh jeez.
Sheesh. Phantom, you just walked into that one.
Oh dear.
I know it. Now I'm just having this horrific picture of my mom without legs, looking up and be like, "Help!
My son.
Dear. Oh dear. Are we going to go back?
Where
to
did they
What
go?"
are the questions?
That was Yeah, come on. Let's actually do some questions now. Come on. Most of these are shit. I'm just scrolling through them now. Most of them aren't even questions.
Yeah, just skip the ones with Brandon.
Oh yeah, some of these are actually bad.
Yeah, no. No, let's rephrase that. Most of these are actually bad. There's actually fuck all.
What would happen if a flying fuck flew from the sky right
Holy
now?
fuck.
I might give it to Woz for his ego, but probably not.
Oh, I was in a flight recently,
A
so
flying
maybe.
fuck.
What?
I was in a flight recently, so maybe that comes to me.
Oh yeah, because you went to Texas. Do you want to flex on us about that a bit? Or
Oh my god, you're so
is your ego
stupid.
sated?
Oh my god, he did not just say Texas.
Or wherever it was, Vegas. Yeah, I don't care.
I'm
I don't
from
know.
Texas, boy.
Well, I think I said Vegas, but you probably just misheard me. But either way, who cares?
Didn't he say Texas? Come on.
You
said
said
Texas,
Texas.
boy.
You did
Fine,
say Texas.
fine. I'm just so used to you harping on about Texas that it just sprung from my brain automatically.
What game have you spent
Texas
the most
is a
hours
nice
playing
place.
and why? Wait, did we end that one? That was an old one. Oh, but we haven't made an episode.
That
of
is
it.
an old one.
Let's just answer it. I already asked it, so let's answer it. Destiny, because it's a good game.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, classic 2005.
That one was pretty
Or
poggers.
Skyrim.
I spent a lot of time on that one. I didn't really like Skyrim. When it came out, or like when I started playing it. I don't know when it came out, but when I started playing it, I was a busy boy, so I didn't really get to enjoy it that much.
I don't have enough time to argue Skyrim with you right now.
What do you mean argue?
Or
I
energy.
just didn't play it. It was a good game. I just didn't really play it that much.
I actually didn't pick up Skyrim for the first time until about 2017 when I first moved out to university. And I spent the first 3 months of my degree just playing it non-stop.
It's definitely still worth a play if you haven't really played it yet.
Oh, it's really good.
Like, hands down.
I picked it up 6 years after
It's
it
not
came
going
out.
to be the greatest game in the world.
No, it's not, but it's well worth
You
it.
can definitely have a lot of fun with it.
I put 200 hours into that game without the DLCs 6 years after it came out. So that's got to say something. Anyway. No,
Dude.
most of these questions are shit. I'm
Wait,
sorry, there's
hold
nothing
on.
good here.
If you go back to last month, it's literally a bunch of questions about the Tesla and Slinky Put. Can we fucking not with the damn Tesla? It's a car. It's been a literal month. We all know about it now. Let me talk about the Tesla Model 3 2020 released. Tesla.
I'd like you
Pretty
to point,
good.
I would just like to make one point before you continue with this.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this podcast, you were complaining about the Tesla being brought up all the time.
And I am
you have
bringing it up
this
again.
episode. You have this
I'm gonna
episode
bring it up
brought it up
again.
yourself twice.
Is it true I was
utter-
ordered the Cybertruck? Yes. Yes, indeed. I have it on pre-order. I probably won't get it. I might just drop the
Phantom.
deposit, but...
Phantom, this isn't
Jeez.
just me. His ego's off the charts. Please agree
Well,
with me.
I'm just answering questions. Why is Woz so...
Right, yeah.
Oh, skip
Well,
that one.
You got to agree with me.
Didn't read it yet.
Wait, hold on, Woz.
He was literally complaining earlier.
I just saw my name and I started
complaining
reading.
earlier.
it.
You're gonna like
being
this.
brought up. And now here he is like,
You're gonna like this. Hold on. Woz.
I
What
didn't
was
see
the
it. I didn't
question?
see it. We're not gonna answer that one.
Oh, you didn't see it, eh?
I
Hold on, let me
just
see
saw
if I can find
Woz and I was like, alright, already done. And then I saw the rest. We'll skip that
But
one.
he was looking for the word Tesla because he's not quite egoed enough yet.
it. Oh no, it's a beautiful
Yeah,
question.
don't worry about it.
Right. I look forward to it.
It was SG who asked
No.
it, right?
I don't fucking know. I don't even know what question you're on about. I'm just waiting until people start talking again so I can clip all this shite
I
out.
just want to make sure I got the question right before I say it out loud.
Well, just say it out loud at this point. Who cares?
Because we're doing a podcast together, what are your honest opinions of each other? Let's not answer that one.
We've already had that one. Though. I remember answering that one because I remember saying that Phantom makes
Oh, we did.
me laugh sometimes and that Woz Count's very good at editing. That's what I remember saying.
But this was after we did the last one.
But we've already answered that question. It's just someone's asked the same question.
Oh yeah. If you would make an anime, we saw these.
I can't find it. I'm not wasting my time scrolling anymore.
What's-
That was
But the
What's
last
the question?
The last
What
time
was
I
the
went out,
question? Just
I think SG was just like, why is Woz's ego so big?
Well, I mean,
that was literally
it's
the
a valid
question.
fucking question. It's a valid
it's not.
fucking
It's not
question.
big. It's just I'm just happy and I'm
No,
like.
I
I'm
just
okay with
want to
sharing
point
it,
out that
you know?
I just want to point out again.
It's not
'cause
big. I can
you've-
fit it in the back of my Cybertruck. Don't even worry.
You've
about
already you've already brought up your Tesla about 3 times on this podcast, and at the beginning of the episode, you were complaining about it being brought up all the time. Be like, my ego isn't big. Stop bringing up the Tesla, guys.
Well,
And then you brought it up
it.
yourself.
Moo, in
3
his
times.
defense, I don't know if it was brought up in an ego way. I think it was brought up as it's been a subject on the past.
He was reading those questions, and he read one about the Tesla, and he decided of his own free will and initiative to bring it up on the podcast.
'Cause I-
he could have
Well,
just
that's
as
funny.
easily
because
skipped
there was
them.
like
He could-
10 questions in a row.
Yeah, he could have
about
just
it.
skipped
Yeah.
them. He could have
No,
just skipped
well,
them. He
no.
could've
I
just skipped
actually wasn't gonna answer the question, but it's because was it?
Yeah.
No, it's because
No,
of Jason.
no, he's just mentioning that there was
That there was
20
20 questions,
about
and then I
Yeah,
stated that
yeah,
Slinky said, "Can we just stop about the questions about the Tesla?"
Yeah.
And I also think it's funny that
think it's
Slinky is
funny.
bothered by it.
It's funny that people are bothered about everyone asking about the car. Like,
But
It's just a car.
with
So
that
stop bringing
said,
it up all the
with
time.
me defending you, Woz, I do have to say, you did bring up the Cybertrunk.
well, I did.
Cybertrunk.
Well, it was a question.
Trunk.
It was a question.
I brought up the
It
trunk.
was a question, and I answered it. It's not like I wanted to, but it was a question, and I was like, you know what, I
yeah,
bring it
that's
up.
bullshit. You definitely wanted to.
It's not like I
answer it
wanted to
because-
talk about the pre-order.
It's not like I wanted to
Well,
talk myself getting a
It's
fucking
because
Cybertruck.
people like Teslas, and I think it would be good for like viewer wise.
by
if
people.
The podcast.
By
podcast
people.
if we brought up us having a car. That's nice.
People like Teslas, and by people you mean you and your raging general ego.
I can literally
hard-on
show
for
you a
Teslas and
tweet
Elon
by-
Musk.
I won't even lie. I do.
Yeah, a
want
lot of
Tesla.
people like Teslas, man. Come on.
I don't see the appeal in them.
But I'm a huge Elon fan.
I couldn't
so
particularly.
that's-
I'm
biased.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't get one myself.
All right, well,
Anyway, yeah.
let's answer this one because this one's going for too long. What do you value most in a friendship?
What kind of car my friend has?
If he has a Tesla.
It's not a direct answer. It sort of answers the question, but I think you'll appreciate this anyway. I think the way to find out if you're really genuinely close with someone and a good friend with someone is the ability to sit with someone and both of you are in complete silence and none of you feel like the need to fill the silence or, they feel awkward or anything like that. That I think is the mark of a real good friendship. The ability to just sit quiet with one another and no one feels the need to talk or fill up the gaps.
I disagree. I think that's the mark of a good person, not a good friend. I think if you can sit with anybody and be quiet, you're doing you. You should just keep keeping your mouth shut.
I would argue the contrary, because I'm happy to sit quiet with anyone, but most people would feel the need to fill the gap if I sit quiet for 20 seconds. But if someone's willing to sit
Well, they're
with...
all
Well,
bad people.
I'm
in
not
my
gonna.
opinion.
I'm not gonna lie. I've wanted to fill the gap with like people because I don't want them to think like, oh, this guy's boring, So that I'm like, maybe I'm entitled to.
No, but I don't think... I think that's what you mean, because with anyone, when you first meet them, you want to fill that gap. You want it to be as awkward as... as little awkward as possible. But when you reach that point with someone where you really like them and you trust them and you get along with them well, you both feel comfortable enough to just sit quietly with each other. And the other person won't judge you or think you're awkward or weird or boring. And that, I think, is the sign of a true friendship. Two people can just sit comfortably with one another without speaking. The conversation dries up or whatever, and it's not awkward at all. That, I think, is...
No, that is important.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I get you now.
I know that's not a direct answer, but I just think that's a very important thing to look for. Anyway,
Yeah.
What have you guys got?
Well, I have a good one for this. I think a good sign to see if you're friends with somebody is if you guys can like actually joke around. Even joke around about some real shit and still at the end of the day just like laugh about. If you can laugh at yourself, I think you can be friends with mostly anybody.
Yeah, I agree with
Or
that.
maybe it was just me. I'm very different from people, so I respect people who can poke fun at themselves and like not take jokes seriously, because I make a lot of dumb, stupid jokes. Some that not everyone can tell that I'm joking. Like they're like, "Did he just say this about?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did."
But no, I agree. I agree with that.
But yeah, you need to be able to joke, and I think if you're comfortable with joking, even poking fun at somebody, I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
In a weird way, in a non-bully way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense. I agree with that. That's a good one.
Mine's kind of the same thing. Is that like if I'm able to make a joke and you're not gonna.
All right, next question.
I think a good thing with the friend is if we can like jokingly argue, but like, you know, we're still friends.
Yeah.
We're
I
not
know
gonna
what you mean,
like, okay, and fuck you, I'm not talking to you anymore. You know?
So basically, us every single
Yeah.
podcast episode. Wasn't it, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's like every single one of our podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but seriously, fuck you. I'm never talking to you again.
And if they like my Tesla.
Oh wow, here we go.
And the crackpots are over.
Yeah.
This is the last episode.
Yeah, I think we should wrap this one up anyway. Memes aside, we're at 60 minutes and my brain is leaking out my ears, and there's no good questions at all because everyone in your Discord server, Phantom, is a fucking idiot.
That's okay. And that's why you, the viewer, should join. Up the ratio. Make my IQ for my server better, please.
Or worse, probably worse. Let's be realistic.
Or worse. Yeah, if you made it this far to the episode, probably worse. But thank you for sticking by. We really appreciate it. And this might not be the last episode, but if it is, no, it's nothing that happened between us three. It's your fault. It's the last episode. That's right, viewer.
It's not the last
It's
episode.
you.
It's not the last episode. And just to entice people to come back, we've got some brilliant guests lined up to hopefully get on the podcast in the next few weeks, during the next few episodes. And we've also got a big kind of reschedule. Not rebranding as such, but almost like redecorating announcement that'll hopefully be coming along very soon. So we've got
Holy
two sort of...
fuck, I forgot about that. We got it. Yep.
So anyway, there's two things to look out for. We've got some brilliant guests coming along. Generally, I think it's 3 or 4 guests we've got lined up, and all of them are genuinely spectacular. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we've got some redecorating stuff that we're really kind of pleased with, and we're looking forward to sharing with you as well. So stick around, because it only gets better. And by better, we mean worse.
And if you don't, I'm going to show up to your house.
Yeah, exactly.
And kiss you.
Right. Thanks for watching.
Unless you're underage, then I'll just say hi and leave.
Yeah.
I'll give you a high five.
That was a nice save
Or
there,
elbow
Woz Count.
touch.
That was a nice
But if
save
you're
there.
18, fuck.
This only applies to men. If you're a female, get out of here. Ew.
Why are you
no girls
watching
allowed.
this?
Jesus Christ.
Some people say I'm so straight, so I'm just trying to practice being gay. So whip your cock out, viewer.
Right, come on, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. This is getting really bad.